Hello everyone, it's been a while, hasn't it? If you're new to the channel, my name is Cezabu, and today we are making our way from New Orleans, Louisiana to Honolulu, Hawaii. For those of you that don't know or follow me on Instagram, 1, go follow me, and 2, I actually just got married, so this trip to Honolulu is actually a special one. I'm making my way to my honeymoon. Now, I would like to say the traveling went by smoothly, but American Airlines did everything that they possibly could to keep me from getting there. After a malfunction with the plane, missing our original flight, gaining an extra layover at Dallas and then to Los Angeles, missing the first full day of our trip, and the cherry on top, them losing our luggage with our clothes and all of our valuables, we made it to Honolulu. Don't worry though, this special episode of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles has a happy ending. We were actually able to extend our trip by a day and get our clothes back the next day, and get a, wait for it, $40 voucher for all the trouble. Thanks, American Airlines. But anyway, this video isn't actually to complain about airlines, it's about Hawaii. Our first stop was the first hotel that we stayed at, the Kaimana Beach Hotel, and the view was gorgeous. The lobby outlooked the ocean and had a restaurant called How Tree on the beach, and it was a first great stop on our trip. Oh, and the best part? Wait for it. You're not gonna believe it, because I didn't either at first. Chickens. Chickens were everywhere, which I knew they would be, but I didn't think that I'd see them around every corner. It was really cool, and if you all know, I am a huge fan of chickens, and I hope to own chickens one day, so they look like they were in paradise. But anyway, here's what I got at How Tree, and here's a couple of shots that I posted on Instagram. So our first stop that we wanted to check out was the aquarium, and honestly, I thought it would be a lot bigger, but it was small and cute. You know, you're in Hawaii, so you figure, oh, there must be a ton of native fish life, right? The aquarium must be huge. Well, it was more informative than anything. They were working on expanding at the time, so really, we were done with the aquarium in about an hour, but they had a lot of cool fish. I remember quite particularly the jellyfish. They were really vibrant and really cool, and they looked like that they all were very well taken care of. It was something quick and nice to do, and honestly, if you're just trying to burn time and you're in the area, definitely still check it out. I mean, it helps support, the locals, and it contributes to a really good cause. They had a lot of people walking around and explaining to us each fish and giving us some really fun facts. I remember particularly seeing the seahorses, and I believe that some of the male seahorses were actually pregnant at the time, and then we moved over to the next location and we actually got to see baby seahorses, and they were very young and very adorable. But overall, once again, the aquarium was definitely worth checking out, and for me personally, I see it more as an extension of the zoo, which is actually not too far around the corner and is our next stop. All right, I'm back again. Next up, we explored the Honolulu Zoo, and I can say that after going there, it is actually my favorite zoo of all time. Not sure if it's because we went during opening on a Monday morning in February, but there was practically no one there. They had a lot of unique birds, and the best part, there were so many reptiles, especially tortoises. I had such an amazing time looking at all the species of tortoises. And guess what? They had chickens there too. I mean, different chickens, not Hawaiian chickens, but silkies. They had silkies. Anyway, the zoo was very clean and there were really cool shots. I don't think I have it particularly in the footage that I got, but there was a really cool shot of Diamond Head and you could just look up and see it, and it was so cool. But everything was spacious. You could take your time. We also didn't go in the dead middle of summer either, and the weather, even though it was particularly windy, it was a really nice stroll. But anyway, after that, we explored Waikiki, did some shopping, and since it was daylight, I got to better look at the hotel and to try different foods in the area. It was very cool. Alright, so I thought I would include this little bit of knowledge too. My husband is a huge Like a Dragon fan, so while we were walking around the Waikiki area, he actually would point out that, oh, that's where Kiru stayed and Ichiban stayed, so I thought it was funny that he already knew his way around. Oh, and here's all the food that I got to try too, and I'm still thinking about that Spam Matsubi. I want to say I ate at least 10 of them while I was there, and I definitely picked one up every time I was at the ABC store. Next up, we hopped in an Uber and headed north. This next part was probably my favorite part on the entire trip. This next place was called the Byodo-In Temple, a Buddhist temple, and not to be confused with the temple in Uji, Japan. It was built in 1968 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the first Japanese immigrants to Hawaii, and I have to say, if you're a huge fan of Japanese culture, this is a must-see. The first thing I did was ring the giant bell in front and, of course, check out the temple. Here's a shot of me doing that. There were turtles and koi everywhere, and vendors selling all sorts of things like jewelry and food. And yeah, I picked up another Spam Matsubi while I was there. There were also these tiny little doves, and they wanted to grab a bite, and they were constantly on you. Here's some more shots of everything that I did, and once again, I had an amazing time there. Next up, we headed even more north to grab a bite of Dole Whip from the Dole Whip plantation. At first, we were just gonna, grab the Dole Whip and run, but then we decided to burn some time and hop on the Aulani Express, which, you take a tour and you get to see how everything's grown, like sugarcane, cocoa, and of course, pineapples. There were a bunch of machinery from where they first began harvesting the pineapple, and overall it was beautiful and it was a very relaxing ride. The last thing we did, which, we couldn't leave Hawaii without doing, was we attended a luau in Waikiki. We had front row seats to an amazing show, and I think it was called the Queen Waikiki Luau. They had some really good food, and the show was very entertaining. Here are some of my favorite parts from the show. Morning, we said goodbye to Waikiki, but not without grabbing some malasadas from Leonard's first. It was the first time I had ever had malasadas, and every time I think about one, it reminds me of Hal from Pokemon Sun and Moon and his obsession with them. Well, he has every right to be obsessed because they were amazing. It's really a toss-up between a beignet and a malasada at this point. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I'm also a huge Disney fan, and I got engaged on my last Disney trip that I did exactly a year ago. And I have a Disney destination checklist that I'm working on. Well, on the island of Oahu is Disney's Aulani's Beach Resort, and it has always been a dream of mine to go. And I can finally say that I got to go, and it was incredible. Really, the pictures and the footage just doesn't do the place justice in the way that it looks and feels. It's truly magical. When we got up to our room, they congratulated us on our honeymoon, and we didn't have really quite necessarily the best view. When you looked down, you could see the convention center and a parking lot, but still, we were so tired and constantly exploring, we really didn't have enough time to just look out and just enjoy the view. But here are a few more shots from the resort, and I gotta say, it's wonderful. My only complaint is that if you have a lot of things that you want to do in Hawaii and you don't have a rental car and you're constantly having to take an Uber, it's probably not best that you stay at Aulani. Maybe get everything done and then come to Aulani to stay maybe 1 or 2 days. But other than that, I had wished that we were a lot closer to things to do because Aulani is definitely out of the way. That is my only regret. But overall, though, the resort was beautiful and it was great. And one more thing too, if I hadn't gotten the extra day on my honeymoon, I actually wouldn't have been able to take a picture with Olumel and get a lot of the Olumel merchandise that I wanted because I'm obsessed with turtles. So yes, I did get that picture, and yes, on my last day I was able to grab my sweater and my keychain. It was great. Here's a look of everything in the store. All right, I'm back again. I hope you enjoyed looking around the store with me. But overall, this was my honeymoon. And once again, I have to say, and I said it in my last Disney travel video, none of this would be possible without the support of my husband and everything that he does. I do these videos to take you all along and show everyone this is what my life is like and this is what traveling's all about, even though I'm just a Pokemon channel. One day I hope to incorporate traveling and Pokemon together, and soon there's going to be so many changes to my channel. I'm going to be streaming a lot more and doing card openings, and I would like to incorporate Disney a little bit more too. But the island was beautiful, and I got to see and do everything that I had always dreamed of. I think I have a little bit of footage of this at the end, and you'll see I actually got to see a sea turtle in the wild, but it really was all just a big dream come true. So we've marked Aulani off of our list, and also another thing food-wise, I did get to try my first shaved ice, which this was a lot better than I thought it would be, and the people there were so nice. They knew it was our honeymoon and they actually gave it to us for free. I guess that was a little bit of Disney magic working, but once again, I do want to continue to take you all along with me on my travels, and our next stop, hopefully, fingers crossed, I really want to go to Japan. And I believe that this place, Hawaii, really did kind of feel like a tropical Japan. There were so many Japanese tourists, and I actually had to speak Japanese a couple of times, which was so cool because I'm always so nervous, to try and kind of speak, a different language to people. But overall, it was an amazing experience, and I hope to one day be back in Hawaii. But oh, there's that sea turtle I was talking about. Couldn't even believe it. By the way, this footage is from the secret beach, and it was a little challenging walking along the rock wall, but we were able to get over there and see the turtle. But thank you all so much for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. If you all would be so kind as to please subscribe to the channel and like the video and leave a comment. I've got a bunch of giveaways coming up soon. We're getting ready to hit 3.5 thousand followers on Instagram. And once again, I'm getting ready to stream and do Let's Plays here over on YouTube. I plan on playing Pokeopia soon, and Pokemon Day is coming up, so that means more Pokemon news. I know, sorry, I'm rambling about Pokemon on my Disney travel Hawaii video, but one more thing too. Here's another look at the final shots of my trip. Yes, I included a little bit of Pokemon with Disney, but oh, one more thing too. We got to check out Pearl Harbor. I completely forgot to mention that. That was really cool too, getting to see the history behind everything and the cool ships and submarines. It was really cool. And of course, the last thing that I saw was a little mini replica of the cruise, the Disney Wish that we got to go on. So it all comes full circle. But once again, everyone, thank you all so much for checking out the channel. I really couldn't or wouldn't make any of this without you all, just to be able to chronicle and share my journey and my travels. But like I said, if you want more, please be sure to subscribe and comment on your favorite part of the video, or comment if you've ever dreamed of going to Hawaii, and like the video. Once again, I will catch you all next time. Until then, peace out, stay cool everyone, bye.